Rick questions things. Okay, I'm gonna have to tap yes on my phone real quick. There we go. What's up? Gabriel, what's up, my friend? Are you still there? Did I kick everybody off on accident? I was getting my YouTube stream going. Give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me. Uh-oh. Fucked up my background already. Man, I used to do that all the time. That's awesome. There we go. All right. Still here. Hey, what's up, Gabriel? How you doing, my friend? It's been a while since I've been on. It's been at least a few months. At least a few months. I just spilled hot tea on myself. It's not too bad, though. Hey, thank you, Michelle. It's been quite a while. It has. I think the last live I did maybe was it May, possibly? What are we in now? September? And I can't see how many people are on anymore. It used to show me. Oh, maybe if I get rid of that now. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I can see. So I'm streaming on YouTube as well. So I just did a trial recording for a podcast. I'm hoping to start. So we'll see how that goes. I videoed a little bit. I did a little bit of videoing. I'm not used to that. I'm used to the live setting, right? So it's very different to. I'm gonna scold you for leaving saying, "What's up, Soren, my friend? How are you?" So I did some videoing a while ago for a potential podcast that I'm hoping to start. We'll see if it happens. But it's a lot different than the lives. You know, I've done so many lives, hundreds of lives. Hello, Shane. How's it going, my friend? Lost in the sauce. What's up? What's up? It's been a while. Glad you got humor in that. Uh-oh. From an incident today in town. What's up, Serge? Long time no see. It's good to see you too, Shane. Thank you, my friend. I've missed everyone. I really have. And you know what? Peer to support. You could do a Q&A with questions. Yeah, definitely. For sure, Gabriel. I got to meet. So this summer, I got to meet some people from TikTok. I met Vic face to face. She came to visit. And then I met Tasha and Austin. I met them face to face. They came to visit. So that was really incredible. I loved seeing my friends that I've made on TikTok, to get together with them like face to face and actual human contact was incredible, man. It was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. I didn't tell anybody I was going live, so we'll see if they jump on or not, if it alerts them. Oh man, dang, Soren. There's always something going on. There's always something happening, right? So I've been extremely busy over the summer, but I've also been yeah, definitely, John. I've also been uh, just flowing as existence. Nothing's nothing's gone from where I was. I think I've just been really busy, so that's why I haven't been. Can you see my question on? Oh yeah, there you are. Do you remember reading Eusebia in the New Testament? Eusebia. I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a while. You'll have to refresh my memory. But I'm glad you directed my attention over here to the chat on YouTube. I know that, but why? I'm trying to remember. You know, I don't think much about the Bible anymore. I don't think much about Christianity or anything like that. I mean, it's not something that I'm reading through and thinking through on a daily basis. I have nothing to do with Christianity. I have nothing to do with religion. I really don't. Hey, what's up, East Coast Realtor? How you doing, my friend? Okay. Use me as a translation of Dharma. Okay. Yeah, the painting behind me. The Great Wave. Yes, it is, Minda. I missed it. um, so anyway, I've been extremely busy this summer. Extremely busy. I was, I have a business here in Galveston. I have a side business that I do in the summertime. It's called Island Time Cabanas, and so I did a lot of marketing and hard labor for that. I also had knee surgery this summer. I tore my meniscus in my right knee. That's my third knee surgery that I've had. I tore my ACL and MCL in my left knee, then tore the meniscus surfing in my left knee, and then tore the meniscus in my right knee this summer. So I had surgery just 3 weeks ago. Yeah, Soren. So, Minda, no, I'm not an atheist. I don't label myself anything. So I don't label myself atheist, theist, anything like that. I don't believe anything. I don't believe anything. So I don't believe in any gods. I don't believe in any beliefs, religious beliefs, or anything like that. Have you ever believed? Yes, I have. I was a Christian pastor for many years. I have a Master's of Arts in Religion from Westminster Theological Seminary. So yeah, I definitely very deeply believed things in the past. But all of that is unnecessary and meaning. It has no relevance to me anymore. The beliefs, the religions. I have walked another path and have realized many other things since then. And I began with questioning, and that's why I called this account Rick Questions Things, because at first, when I started this account, there was a Christian friend of mine, and he used to be he was a member of my church for a while. We started our TikTok accounts just as a way to go back and forth, kind of asking each other questions and questioning things, because we had that kind of relationship even when I left Christianity. And so we started TikTok, and mine just kind of grew into my own journey of expressing different philosophies and thinking through Eastern wisdoms and things like that. I came in contact with a guy named Alan Watts a long time ago, and I love Alan Watts, and he kind of opened my mind to other things. He opened my mind to all kinds of other ways of thinking, just to explore, right, and consider maybe what I have always believed isn't true. And by the time I had met Alan, or came in contact with Alan Watts, he was already dead, of course. I had already left Christianity. At the time, I was an atheist. And so I started listening and reading Alan Watts. I had no idea who he was. I just happened to come across him on something I was listening to, and I was like, "Who is this guy? Man, I connect with what he's saying. And so for the next decade, longer, really, I've learned a lot from him. But do you still talk to Farhan? I haven't talked to Farhan in a long time. I need to reach out to him, honestly. I need to reach out to Farhan. It's been a while. I was on his podcast, and I enjoyed that a lot. But I haven't spoken to him. I don't think I've spoken to him since then. So Alan Watts he expanded my mind a lot. And then that led me through a whole journey, wandering through all kinds of Eastern philosophies and ways of thinking, which ultimately led me to my own path and realization. And hey, Tim. You don't have to. Nah, you don't have to mute him. It's fine. Nobody bothers me. What's up, Tasha? Hey, I told everybody I got to meet you face to face. You in Austin. This summer I met Vic and Tasha in Austin. This summer it was incredible, amazing. Hello, Tim. It's good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Soren, you don't have to mute or anything. Really, you don't. I welcome any questions, any comments. You want to call me a jackass, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. I don't want anybody muted or blocked or anything unless it's like a threat. You're bigger than me on YouTube, but I'm bigger than you on TikTok. I had no idea. I know I told everybody I didn't tell anybody I was going live. I was going to see who just got the notification and jumped on. So Tasha, I dabbled with some recording tonight before I jumped on live for the podcast that I want to start. So Angie, good to see you. So I did a little bit of recording. And you just saw me, Tasha? Nice. I did a little bit of recording for, a trial episode of the podcast. And it's different. It's a lot different than being live because, I'm interacting with people on the lives, of course. And so it's a big difference. Here, there are prompts, that kind of spontaneously have me going this way and that way. And when you're just you're recording yourself on a video, you're kind of left to your own devices. And I'm a spontaneous person anyway, right? So I don't plan out anything I want to say. I don't plan any direction that I want to go. Thank you, Angie. I appreciate that. That is sweet. So, with the recording, it was just, let me just spontaneously talk. Thank you. Here's to your podcast. Cheers. What do you think of manifestation? LOA. What's LOA? I mean, I know what manifestation is, but I'm curious what LOA is. Wait, what did you say, Tasha? Even worse when it's you. Yes, I've been on a podcast different. Yeah, even worse when it's you. I've had fun on podcasts, and I think I'm going to have fun with this one, just recording, because it's just laid back, and I'm just like talking in the mic about whatever I want to talk about. The name of it. Surge. My friend. Oh, law of attraction, of course. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen seen it put that way, just LOA. I haven't heard Richard Dawkins speak in a long time. It's been a long time. I wasn't sure if he was still active. The law of attraction. Okay, so manifestation, law of attraction. Yeah, right. Exactly. I need to meet Surge as well. Well, the thing. Nice. The thing about manifestation. Oh, thank you for the gift. Is I when you understand existence as not a bunch of separate parts or things, but as one interconnected, singular energy of or flow of energy, right? Then all things flow together and are connected completely and utterly and totally. Nothing is separate. Nothing is separate. So all of these things and events that we think are separate, cause and effect. There is a cause and there's an effect, and there's another cause and there's an effect, and this effect is a cause of this effect. Is just essentially a flawed perspective, because everything is one whole, inseparable. So possibly what manifestation is just the flow, the natural flow of the entire thing. I mean, if it's flowing together, it makes sense that things look like they are being manifested, or things look like they are being supernaturally connected or something like that, right? Because they aren't separate. Nothing is separate. Austin, what's up, my friend? Yeah, manifestation is what happens when you focus on it happening. So, yeah, I mean, your thoughts aren't separate things. They are a part of the whole as well. They are popping up and drifting, but they aren't separate from anything. They are the same energy as anything else around, right? Seen or unseen. And so if everything is interconnected, and not just, even the word interconnected implies almost an interlocking of separate things, but it's not that at all. It's one stream. It's a flowing stream. It's one river, right? It's one ocean. And if there is one ocean and there's a swirl over here, and that ripples out and creates some sort of swirl over here, well, that could be considered manifestation, right? And so anything that you think creates some sort of ripple or swirl, I'm sure, and has an effect. Anything that you say has a swirl, or some sort of a swirl, or some sort of rippling out. But it's not a separate thing. It's a rippling through itself. What's up, Steph? It's tea time. No, I'm not drinking the old vodka and orange juice. Not drinking the old White Russians tonight. It's just tea. Mm-hmm. It has been a hot minute. No, it's not mushroom tea. It's like elderberry and echinacea, or however you say that. I don't know, something like that. Oh, bubble tea. I like that. No, it's not mushroom tea, but I do like mushroom tea. No, Jay, that's a belief. And if you can drop beliefs, you will find yourself in a way of freedom that you've never felt before. No, I have not heard of that. Spiritual bypass. I'm not sure what that is. Spiritual bypass. So you believe in happiness. I don't believe in happiness. Happiness is. Sadness is. These things happen. They happen in the present. Only in the present. So I don't have to believe in those things. If I'm happy, I'm happy. If I'm sad, I'm sad. If I'm angry, I'm angry. And those things are happening in the present moment. There's nothing to believe about that. Belief has to do with the past or the future, the imagination. Belief has to do with things that are not in this moment. And to believe something exposes the fact that you are not in this present moment, not aware of this present moment. You are thinking or stuck or grasping to the past. You are thinking or stuck or grasping to the non-existent future, the imaginative future. But belief has nothing to do with the present moment. You don't have to believe anything if you are in this fully engaged and in contact, full contact with the present moment and only this present moment. Spiritual bypass. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know what I think about it because I don't know what it is. Jesus will come back. You have to believe, be saved, and have eternal life. But Jesus is not coming back. That's a belief. You have to believe that. And Christianity is simply a belief. And it has nothing to do with me. It's irrelevant and unnecessary. And so I don't think anything about it. Nah. Tasha. It's simply a belief. You grasp onto that belief. You can't let it go. You can't drop it. It's irrelevant because it has nothing to do with this present moment, which is all that exists. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. This present moment is all that there is. And that belief has nothing to do with this moment, here and now, which is all that exists. That's all there is, right here, right now. There is nothing else. But it's everything. It's not like this is all there is, damn it. It's everything. It is everything. All that exists right here, right now, in this complete, whole, eternal now that never goes anywhere. Oh, like a crutch. It's a tendency to use spiritual ideas and practices to avoid dealing with unresolved emotional issues, like a crutch, which, religion is a crutch. Religion is pumpkin spice Oreos. Religion is a crutch for those who are not aware and in contact with this moment, this present moment. Faith is not the answer. And by faith, you mean belief. You don't mean faith. Faith is letting go. Belief is holding on and grasping. And belief is not the answer. Belief is a crutch. Belief is remaining asleep. That's what belief is. And you don't mean faith. You mean belief. The Oreo spice religion. Oreo spice Oreos is not religious talk. I don't know. It could be. Sorry you feel like this. Well, I'm not. So don't be. I am not sorry that I have come to this realization, which is ultimate and absolute peace and bliss. I am existence. I know who I am. I am awake to this moment. I'm not asleep, buried and grasping to the past and the imaginative future. I don't need religion. I don't need belief. I have journeyed far past those primitive chains and have awakened to what is. There is no judgment day. There is no God's word. It is all belief. Those are just beliefs. You are embracing them now to its fullest exactly. And believing is not that. It's the opposite of that. So when you are thinking of Judgment Day that was supposed to come a long, long time ago, you are not in the present. You are not embracing the present. You are wasting your one precious life away as this character, as this mask. You have become your own God. Congratulations. There is no God to become. But if you mean that I have become awake and aware of what I really am, if you want to call that God, that's okay. Then I am God. If you mean by that some all-powerful, supernatural, all-knowing being that created the universe, and the things that you read in the ancient, primitive books of religion, that doesn't exist. You're perfectly free to remain asleep in those beliefs. You're perfectly free to remain in bondage and never awake to what is. No, Joni, don't believe me. It's your own existential journey that matters. Is there any way to force my... Okay, Tasha. I love you guys too. I'll see you soon. I'll jump on every once in a while now. But I'm going to be working on the recordings as well. Is there any way to force myself to wake up to all that is? All that it is. Well, the thing is, you think of yourself, thank you for the rose, you think of yourself as someone that can force yourself. Do you realize how schizophrenic that sounds, right? Who's going to force who? Can I force myself? Well, there is no self to force. There's no one to force and nothing to force. And when you realize that, that's when you drop the forcing altogether and wake up to it. Oh, nice. You read all the books and listened to Alan Watts. Awesome, awesome. There's no Judgment Day, my friend. That's a belief. Can you please say that again? Well, everything that I say is spontaneous, so the idea is that it's quite schizophrenic. You're separating yourself from yourself, supposedly, when you have the idea that you want to force yourself to do something. Who is going to force who? Are you two people? Are you one person? Are you a person at all? And the truth is, you think you're a person. You believe you're a person. But there is no one to force anything. And there is nothing to force. And when you drop that forcing, you realize that everything that happens is a natural, spontaneous flow of the whole. And there's nothing to force. There is only life. That is it. Yeah, the separate self is an illusion. There is no separate self. There is no separation of any kind whatsoever. There is existence. There is existence. And you are that existence. Forcing yourself to do things is like the snake eating its own tail, right? The dog chasing its own tail. So everything is just tied together. I get so lost trying to understand everything. Well, what's that? We're all the Big Bang. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to kind of picture it. It's the Big Bang just sprawling out and out on the fringes. Here we are. Still the Big Bang, just expanding still, right? We're not separate. There's not the Big Bang and all the stuff of the Big Bang, and then there's us. It is the Big Bang continuing to expand, right? If the Big Bang is how everything came about. It's just using it as an analogy, basically. Yeah, it does. The snake does, doesn't it? You've hardened your heart to God. There is no you to harden a heart. You do not exist. You believe you exist as separate from all that's around you, and you believe in a separate God from you. But all of that is a belief. It doesn't exist. The more I look into it, the scarier, more lost I feel. Oh. Well, oh no, Ted Denson. Oh no, hard heart. The scarier and more lost I feel. Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because that could mean that you are right at the edge of the abyss. That's the ego holding on, you realize. The ego is scared to let go. The ego is scared to not exist. And so the closer we come to realizing that the ego is a fabrication, that it's a conglomeration of all that's around us and our upbringing, it's a fabrication, it's a piecing together of environment and upbringing and beliefs and teachings and experiences, and all those things come together to piece together this, what we believe we are, which is the ego. And it's illusion. It doesn't exist. Because what you really are is the whole. You are not separate from the whole. You're not separate from existence. You are existence. The ego simply is the belief that you are separate from everything else around you, that you exist separate and apart from nature, others, the world, everything, and you're not. You aren't separate from anything at all. You're the same process, the same energy, the same existence. You are the whole. What's up, Dave? And so when you realize that, when you get close to realizing that, the ego kicks and screams and gets scared. It's looking over into this abyss going, if I fall into this abyss, I will not exist. I will no longer exist. And what's crazy about that situation is that, what's up, Christopher? What's crazy about that situation is when the ego falls into that abyss and no longer exists, that's where you find bliss. That's where you find, hey, my friend, Christ before Jesus, what's up? That's where you find the peace that surpasses all understanding, right? That's where you find the peace that cannot exist, that is blocked by this belief that you are separate from everything and everyone around you. That comes from the ego. The ego blocks that peace. So standing over that abyss, looking into that abyss, the ego gets scared and feels lost and begs and pleads, don't kill me. The death of the ego. God is good. Well, that is a belief, isn't it? That's your belief. But it has nothing to do with this present moment. I have been gone for a while. Grace Framers, what's up? Yeah, I think the last time I went live was back in May, I think it was May. So I took the summer off. I've been extremely busy because I have a business. I'm a teacher, also have a business. I'm extremely busy. I have a family, a lot going on. And, you know, if I don't feel in the moment to speak about things or interact or go live, I just don't. So tonight I was making a video for a podcast that I'm working on. And after I finished video, and I just kind of felt like going live. So I said, okay, I'm going to jump on and see what happens. Good to see you, my friend, Christopher. Thank you for all your support, by the way. I really appreciate you. Miss getting lit with you and listening. Those were the best days. Those are good days. What do you teach? I teach computer science, 1, 2, 3, and entrepreneurship in high school. Yeah, thank you, Patricia. Well, Stevie's talk, you know, hopefully, nice. That's awesome. I like that. I've never seen that. I wonder what all's new on here, you know. Stevie's talk, I will probably be going live more often now that the summer's over. Like that, Christopher. Hope that the Holy Spirit works in your heart so you can see the truth. That word hope has nothing to do with this moment. You're hoping. That's something that you are hanging on to. Hoping happens. Hoping is true. The imaginative future of hope. I'm bad at math. Oh, you failed math. College for computer science. Nice. Another great teacher played a huge role in that. That's awesome. That's what I went to school for before I went to seminary. I got a bachelor's degree in computer information systems, and then I went to seminary later. Got the master's of arts in religion. What kind of tea is it? It's elderberry and echinacea, I think, or something like that. Is echinacea even a tea? I don't know. It's elderberry and something. I don't know. It's like a berry tea, but it's real subtle. It's not sweet. That's really good. I'm trying to remember the brand. Oh, you know what? Actually, it's Puka. It's elderberry and echinacea. That's exactly what it is. I nailed it. No, I haven't. I haven't tried it, but I've seen it, and I should. Why do Christians often sound so condescending in their hopes? Well, because it is condescending. And they hope that you hope like them so that they feel justified in their hope. And that's true. You know, it's the communal hope game. The more people that I can get on board with my belief, the better I feel about my belief, because the very nature of belief is that you don't know that it's true. You can't know that it's true. Belief is belief because it isn't necessarily true. And so the more I can get people on board with my belief, hanging on to the same things that I'm hanging on to, the better I feel about it, the more confident I feel about it. And so if I can belittle people or make people feel, you know, lesser than or smaller than me because they don't believe, you know, I'm going to tell them you're sad, you're angry, you're lost, you're going to hell, you're suffering, blah, blah, blah. And I can absolve you. I can help you be absolved of all these things. And that's not a game I play. I don't want anybody to believe me. I don't want anybody to believe me. Don't believe me, because you'll be falling into the same trap that I am trying to wake you up from. I don't want you to believe anything. I want you to go on your own journey. My whole point, my whole message is wonder and wonder. Wonder and wonder. Go on your own journey. Go on your own path. Forge your own way. Question everything. And then go on your own path. But don't believe me. Hear what I say. Test it out. Experience it. See if it's true. But don't just believe it. If you discover that it's true, then we are on in similar places, right? It's not about Christians feeling good about themselves. It's about we want you to be saved, eternal life. But there's nothing to be saved from. There's only waking up. That's it. In this moment. There is no heaven or hell in the afterlife. Those things are just beliefs. They are simply beliefs. Right, Patricia, eternal life is now. It's now. This eternal present moment, this eternal now, this infinite now is eternal life. And it can either be hell or heaven. The ego makes it hell. Dropping the ego, waking up to your true nature as existence, creates a heaven. Post new content soon. I become an apologist. Oh, nice. I'm going to have to check it out too, your YouTube for sure. Thoughts on intoxication via alcohol and drugs, including tobacco. Yes, everything is now. Well, I don't have many thoughts on it because there is, I mean, if you want me to be honest, there is ultimately nothing right or wrong or there's no condemnation that I would have for anything like that. I think there's something to be said for personal freedom in choosing those things. As a society, living in a society, it gets a little more complicated because you're dealing with the effects of things of that nature. But in its essence, deep down on a fundamental level, there's nothing good or bad. So I think those kinds of things, intoxication via alcohol, drugs, those kinds of things, I think those things, as far as that idea goes, has to be considered in the realm of society and culture, not on the fundamental level of ultimate morality or right and wrong, because those things just don't exist. Yeah. Thank you, Moneymaker. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the question as well. Hey, what's up, Austin? Been doing well, my friend. How about you? I've just I haven't been on in many months. It's been since May, I think. A lot's happened since then. I had a knee surgery just a few weeks ago, by the way. Okay. Go ahead, Moneymaker. Yeah. You've been okay? Good. It's better than not okay. I look refreshed. Thank you. I am refreshed. I feel great. Even coming out of a knee surgery, I feel good. No, it was a few weeks ago, so I'm fully recovered. I mean, mostly. I still have some pain, some mechanical issues, but the stitches are gone and I'm healing up. But no, I mean, existentially, I am refreshed. I do feel extremely refreshed. I feel light. I feel like I'm floating above the ground. Oh, wisdom tooth. Yikes. I would not feel like I was floating above the ground had I had a wisdom tooth pulled today. Thank you. Thank you. No, I feel great. I really feel good. I really do. Cousin is a uncle. Ah, monotheistic cult. Ah, got it. Yeah, those things are tough. Why do you put your beliefs on the screen if you won't address them? Well, I'm not sure that I won't address them. When have I not addressed anything? When I'm not putting beliefs. A lack of belief is not a belief. A lack of belief is not a belief. So if I say I do not believe in hell, well, that's not a belief that I don't believe in hell. I'm not believing that there's no hell. There just simply is no evidence whatsoever. It's purely a belief, 100% a belief to believe in hell. It's 100% a belief. You have absolutely no evidence. You cannot go there. You cannot visit there. You can't get a postcard from there. There's never been anyone who has entered hell and exited and come to tell you about it. So it's 100% a belief. And for me to say that I don't believe in hell, hell doesn't exist, it's not a belief. It is the lack of belief. Leave my home. I feel that leaving would be like betraying my parents and leaving them stranded. I live in a very traditional family, so naturally they assume I'm supposed to take over. I don't want to leave for bad reasons. I believe there's more out there, and me being here in a small town in Canada ain't gonna change that. That's tough, yeah. That's a big, deep, personal question. Oh no, I'm not ignoring I really don't ignore questions. I don't catch all the questions. I'm not completely scanning the comments constantly, and I'm looking back at YouTube and TikTok and some questions that I've just answered literally probably 10,000 times. Sometimes I ignore those just because I get tired of answering them, to be honest with you. Moneymaker, that's a good one. I want to think about that because I do have things I want to say to you about that. I think you can reach my, you know what, Moneymaker, go to rickquestionsthings.com and reach out to me in the contact form and say that again in the contact form because there are things I want to tell you about that. That's a good question. Yeah, they always say Jesus coming back soon. Yes, Jingles. I don't think he wants to have this discussion because you're covering due to get to know Jesus. He never knew this guy. Well, I don't mean to be, yeah, for sure. Yeah, reach out to me through rickquestionsthings.com and I will definitely write you back. 100%. So, how could Jesus ever know this guy if Jesus is dead and died over 2,000 years ago, if he even existed? I'm not being disrespectful when I say that. I'm just being honest. Oh, there's another one of those comments. You look sad and depressed. That's a mirror comment. They are projecting their own sadness and depression onto me because if they knew me personally, which some people do, I don't know if they're still on, they would know that I'm anything but sad and depressed. Thank you, Tim. There was a point in my life, to be honest with you, where I did deal with sadness and depression. And you know what? That was when I was a Christian. And that is the truth. There was a big part of my Christian life where, and I won't say the whole thing, because I had a type of not true, real peace or bliss when I was a Christian, because it's not possible. But I had a pseudo peace and happiness uh, for a good part of my Christian life. But what's up, my mental? It is really me. Uh, but I, uh, for a long part of my life, and due to a lot of my upbringing and things like that, yeah, thank you, stargazing. I did deal with a lot of sadness and depression because I dealt with a lot growing up. I had uh, experiences that a lot of people probably haven't had, and I think it contributed to a life for a long time of sadness and depression. And a lot of that was due as well to Christian trauma, God trauma. There is uh, hell trauma and judgment trauma, the trauma of believing in this God who is going to judge you and send you to hell if you are not living up to his standards, or if you have not received his grace, whichever your viewpoint. And that is very traumatic. And when you're a child, that can be extremely traumatic, believing in hell, being taught about hell, because it just doesn't exist. It's a made-up thing that people believe in from ancient, primitive religions. It just doesn't exist. Yeah, you saw kids cry and shake with fear. Right, exactly. You uh, you have children who can't sleep at night. I was one of them. I remember laying awake at night, being terrified that Jesus could come back that night and I could possibly go to hell. It was traumatic. It was insanely traumatic and incredibly damaging. It really is. And so that's going to lead to a lot of depression. That's going to lead to a lot of sadness. And then the the standards that are put upon you and that you put upon yourself, trying to live up to the Christian standards and the righteousness standards, and trying to be like Christ. Those catchphrases. I want to be like Christ. I want to be Christ-like. Things like that. When you're trying to live up to those standards, and you always are going to fall short, and you have to lean on that grace, right? Well, that's damaging. That's going to cause sadness. That's going to cause depression. Thank you, my mental. Man, I really appreciate you so much. I really do. How much money are they paying you? Not enough. Your story. Thank you, Lola. Bustin'! What's up, dude? Oh, no, I only talked about Jesus and Christianity tonight because people bring it up. They see this, no God, no hell. I didn't mention Jesus. I didn't mention Christianity. A lot of religions believe in God. A lot of religions believe in hell and end times. But, you keep asking me over and over and over. And I keep trying to tell you over and over and over, drop the beliefs. They're only beliefs. They have nothing to do with your life in this moment, this present moment. Oh, you started going live? Nice. Dude, I'm going to check that out. Your story leads people away from God. Your trauma about the church has nothing to do with God. Well, it has nothing to do with an actual God, because that God doesn't exist. So you're right. It has nothing to do with an actual God, because there is no actual separate entity out there apart from existence. There is only existence. And if you knew who you really are as existence, and that you don't need a God and you don't need any belief whatsoever, you would experience a freedom that you've never experienced before from the crutches of religion. Yeah, I bet it's been fun. It's been since May. It's been since May since I went live last. But my mental, I was telling people earlier, I was videoing a little bit, just like a test run of creating a podcast, a video podcast. And oh, Moneymaker, I saw that your email came through, so I'm going to respond to you as soon as I get the chance. But I saw it. It just came through on my phone. Awesome. So I was videoing a little bit, and It's weird. It's different. It's different than a live, because on a live you have interaction, you have these comments, and of course, I get so many of the same comments and the same questions over and over and over and over and over again that I have to constantly respond to. And I think that's why I take a break sometimes. I'm just like, okay, yeah, thank you too, my friend. Um, it just gets repetitive and monotonous, and so sometimes I need a break. But videoing a podcast is so much different, because it's a spontaneous thing. I'm just speaking, and I don't know where it's going to go, and it's just me. So it's my screen inactivity. I don't have inactivity. Hold on, let me fit this little puzzle piece in here so I can remain live on TikTok. That's weird. It says that there's inactivity detected, but I just verified that I'm here. Yeah, lots of parrots. It's over and over and over. But when you're videoing for a podcast, it's just you, me, myself, and I just just talking. So it's different. I'm gonna have to get used to it. So tonight was kind of a trial run, but I'm hoping that I can create some content just to go into a little more detail about the concepts that I talk about here, not so much Christianity or religion. I just get a lot of comments about that, and so I just respond to those things. But really, the idea of the podcast is more so to Stevie. That's awesome. I I love that. That's hilarious. Um, I really on the podcast want to just go deeper into a lot of the philosophical, not necessarily philosophical, but existential concepts that I reference and talk about on here as well, about the nature of reality, waking up, the illusion of the ego and the self, our true nature, the true the truth of existence being equal and synonymous with who you really are. Oh, nice, my friend. I was on antidepressant. That was the power of it was your own power. Go within. That's awesome, my mental. I appreciate that, man. So I wrote recently. I hadn't done that in a while either. But let me see if I can see something here. I wrote on rickquestionsthings.com for the first time in a long time, actually. Pull it up. It was just a real brief post called Just Be. And, a lot of what I write about has to do with the nature of reality, right? The self, the true self, which is no self. It is existence. No, I'm not. I'm drinking tea. I've had a lot of these little cups of tea tonight, but it's non-caffeinated, so. Um, the last post is super short. It's called Just Be. But I have a lot of posts on those ideas that I want to go deeper into on my podcast, right? So there's one called Speaking in Silence, Unconditional Love, which has more to do with the nature of reality than anything. I miss caffeinator. There's a post called The Deep Truth of Reality. That would be a good one to read. But that's the purpose, I think, of the podcast. I do want to go deeper into those kinds of ideas. It's great when you finally see the light. Right, isn't it? It is. It is. And then you just continue in that light. You continue to grow. You continue to understand. You continue existence, yourself, but existence, reality just continues to unfold on itself, and you come to more and more realizations about the whole thing. Um, yeah, I can't wait either. Hopefully I'm consistent and I create it, because I want to create several episodes before I put any of them out there. But when just recently, it's not that you ever stop having having epiphanies, right? Existence just continues to unfold on itself because the whole thing is a mystery. Get questions from your TikTok people on a topic to answer on your podcast. Yeah, definitely, exactly. I definitely need to do that. No longer deposit my positive energy in the bank of God. That's good. Yeah, that's a good idea, Moana Monroe. Should I say who you are? Or keep it a secret? Get questions from your TikTok people on a topic. That's definitely what I want to do, because that'll help lead me in spontaneous talks, and that's what's happening here on the live. But it's so hey Tasha, it's so tat 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 tat. It's just a constant machine gun effect. It's boom 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 boom, hitting all these different things. But if I take a question from somebody from TikTok and then kind of help that lead me in a podcast episode, I could go a lot deeper without feeling the need to jump to this and that and respond. So there are a couple things there, but my mental explain what a happening means. So Christy said, what caused a change in beliefs? And at this moment right now, I'll direct you to rickquestionsthings.com, where I have written on that. I've written pretty deeply on what was the shift and what happened in that shift to go from believing to not believing at all. Explain what a happening means. So a happening means it's just a word, right? But it signifies the spontaneous nature of existence, because the whole thing is the spontaneous happening. The present moment is all that there is, and everything is unfolding out of this moment. It's not that anything is coming from the past or going into the future, because those things really are concepts in the human mind. Right now, in this moment, is all that exists, and everything that is happening is all that there is. And when you understand that, and you understand that it is a natural, spontaneous happening, well, then you see everything as that. Everything. My thoughts are happenings. My heartbeat is a happening. And I know more. There's no more a controller of thoughts as there is a controller of my heartbeat. There is no more a controller of my thoughts and all of those kinds of things than there is a controller of the sun providing warmth, right? There is no controller of the sun rising. It's rising to us. There's no controller. You're not controlling that, but it's essential and necessary for your life and survival. It is as much a part of you as your heart is a part of you. And you're not controlling your heart beating either. It is a happening. It's just going on. Boom, boom. I'm not controlling it going beat, 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 right? And I'm not controlling my thoughts. I think that I can control my thoughts, but who is that thinker controlling the thoughts? That's just a thought itself. So thoughts are happening. When you recognize this and you understand this, you lose all anxiety. I used to be a very, very anxious person. And I told you, there was a point in my life where I did deal with a lot of sadness and depression. I was depressed a lot. I tried antidepressants and all kinds of stuff. But the release of that anxiety has everything to do with my realization of existence being all that there is, and I am not separate from it. And so seeing everything as a happening, I can now trust that everything is what it is. My thoughts are a happening. I don't have to judge them, but I also don't have to obsess over them, right? So I don't have to obsess over my thoughts. And that's what a lot of depression is obsessing over your thoughts. You think something and then you think about that thought and you think deeper about that, and you just go down this spiraling rabbit hole of thinking and going down and darker and deeper. And you don't have to do that. You can let these thoughts come and let these thoughts go, like clouds drifting in the sky. And this is what they are. They're no different than clouds drifting in the sky. And as you look at the sky and you see a cloud, you don't say that's, look at that ugly, shitty cloud. I judge it and it's just wrong. Well, the same thing as your thoughts. You don't have to judge your thoughts. You just let them come and go. Same thing with emotions. There's nothing wrong with emotions. I get angry. I get sad. I get happy. I get, everyone does. Buddha has emotions, but there's no judgment of those emotions. They're recognized, they're witnessed, they're passing through. They come and they go. They're waves rising up and then drifting and falling back down. And that's what they are. And so if you can see those things as happenings, and that's what I mean by happenings, it removes the anxiety that's associated with those things. Yeah, my mental, that's exactly what I plan to do, is come back soon. What's up, Bo, my friend? This too shall pass. Yeah, it's all passing, right? It's all coming and going. It's waves rising and falling. But it's all the ocean. It's all the ocean. It's all the same energy. The waves aren't a separate energy from the ocean, right? This is the ocean's energy waving. And that's what everything is. That's what you are. Bo, it's so good to see you as well, my friend. Unless anger is forced upon you. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Unless anger is forced upon you. Well, that's... About the pic. Oh, the picture. Anger. So are emotions forced upon you? Well, they're really, there are influences. Obviously there are influences, but if you can witness and watch those emotions, they lose their grasp. You're going to get angry. And then after you're angry, you look at it and you go, that was anger. That was a wave of anger. Yeah, my friend. Thank you, Tim. So good to see you. And my knee is much better, man. I got my stitches out. Nothing is forced. They can only be accepted or not. Right. Exactly. Moana, are you still on? When it comes to how to live or what life is, my question is, would you ever tell a religious person that God is real, but not the God you think? Oh, real quick. Emotions are only your perception of reality. Right. Yeah, I like that. Real quick, my knee is doing a lot better. Got the stitches out. It still hurts. There's some mechanical stuff still hurting, but it's doing a lot better. I just have to be careful. I do too much, man. Would I ever tell a religious person that God is real, but not the God you think? Well, I'm free. I do feel free to use any language that I want to use or feel like I need to use. But I don't. It is extremely, extremely rare that I use the word God because of all the baggage that word holds. The word God is so tainted and flawed and immediately conjures up the image of something separate from existence, something separate from the world, something separate from you or me. Let's focus for a little minute and try to take it back, and then how to give back to my higher self. Yeah. Well, you do lose focus, and don't judge it. It is what happens. What's up, Smart Mart? So I don't, it doesn't mean I wouldn't ever use the word God. I used it earlier tonight when I said, if you mean by God this whole existence, you can call that God if that's what you mean, right? Not some separate personal entity that's all powerful, all knowing and judging and all those kinds of things that created everything. I would never use the word God in that way. But if someone can understand it, I don't see the need for the word at all, to be honest with you. But if someone, that's what I meant by, the God you think. Right, exactly, moneymaker. Yeah. What happened to you? You sound like something happened, something you stopped believing. That's something a lot of Christians say. That's it's like a mimicked thing that people say all the time. It's not unique at all. Nothing happened to me. I woke up. Christianity is a belief. That's it. You said why you stopped believing in him because belief is unnecessary. It's simply a belief. You don't need to believe anything. Belief is totally unnecessary and irrelevant. I have zero relevance for belief. Belief has zero relevance for me. It's totally irrelevant. Belief has nothing to do with this present moment. Belief has to do with the past. Belief has to do with the future. Neither of those exist. Thank you, my friend. Belief has everything to do with past and future. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. By believing, you are missing the only true existence that there is, which is this present moment. Belief is blinding you to life. Belief is stealing life from you. Vitalism. I've never heard that term, vitalism. A vital force exists. I believe a vital force. Well, and an evolved man. Evolved man, question mark. So, nothing happened to me. What happened was an awakening. Consciousness is a belief in God is not necessary, right? I don't believe in myself. I trust myself. Belief can change. You taught me that. Yeah, right. And beliefs do change. Beliefs are never consistent. They always change. Because beliefs are never certain. Belief is a hope. Belief is never something known. The very definition of a belief is that it is unknown, right? It's something that you hope to be true. Some people need to have something to believe in order to feel purpose in life. Oh, for sure. Or they need to be guided. Yeah. No. And that's true. And it is a form, and I don't mean this in any mean, derogatory way, but it's a crutch, right? Something to lean on. It's a crutch. I need something to get me through this life. I need something to get me through this life. And that need, unfortunately, is what it really does is takes what really is life away, which is this moment right here, right now. So if I believe in something coming, a heaven or a hell, and I'm looking forward to that or not forward to that or whatever, and I'm just constantly looking in that direction. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Life is just fleeting away. You're missing the moment that only exists, which is right here, right now. Or you're constantly reflecting on the past, let's say a religious past, right? You're constantly reflecting on the stories in the Bible. You're just living in that land of Narnia, basically. You are not here now. You're caught up in the past. You're hanging on and grasping to the past. And so people need it. A lot of people need it. They need it because if they don't, they would possibly collapse. But collapsing might not be that bad of a thing. Maybe collapsing is what they need. What do you think happens? Thank you, my friend. A good night. What do you think happens after, thank you for the rose, after we die? Afterlife? Nothing? Curious on your thoughts. Just join. Yeah, lady. You got to go, my mental? So good to see you, my friend. I'll see you again soon, for sure. Yeah, be here now, exactly. When people ask me that, what do you think happens after you die? I don't think about that because it's irrelevant for me in this moment again. It would take a belief to say anything about the afterlife, and so there is no one who has been there and come back. There's no one. There are near-death experiences but they're just those. They're near-death experiences, right? No one has ever. I say this often. No one's ever had their head taken off and then come back to tell us about it. That kind of stuff doesn't happen, and there's a reason for that. When you're dead, you're dead. But there's in order for me to say, if I were to tell you, so Frankenstein's monster, right? You like that, Bustin? If I were to say, well, this is what happens when you die, right? Even if I were to say nothing happens when you die, well, how do I know? I don't. I haven't died. I've never died and come back. I have no idea. And so anyone, not just me, anyone who tells you what happens after you die is making shit up or they're believing that it's a belief. They have no idea. They have no clue. And whoever they're believing has no clue. It's simply a belief. So if I were to tell you what happens after you die, if there is hey, Joanna, if there is an afterlife or not, I'd be making shit up. And anyone else that tells you what happens or doesn't happen, they're making shit up. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the question. Yes, I like that one. That's a new one that I've never seen until tonight. Okay, moneymaker. Yeah, you got to work. I know the feeling. Please, I will respond to you. I promise you I will. I sure will. I don't know. I've got some training to do tomorrow. I'll be in training all day. But as soon as I get the chance, I'm going to respond to you. And I appreciate you very much. Thanks for being on the YouTube stream. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, and they call themselves prophets. Like psychic mediums. Right. That speak to the dead. Yeah. I just don't put any stock in those kinds of things. I don't believe it. It's not my experience, right? I don't experience that. You don't believe in the supernatural. Well, there is no distinction for me between anything. I mean, everything is existence and inseparable. So is there a natural and a supernatural? There is just what is. I don't think there's any supernatural powers. If there are some people, for instance, there are some people who can run faster than others. Is that a supernatural power? No, they're just naturally faster runners, right? So do I believe in miracles? No, I don't believe in anything, because if there's something that happens that I can't explain, well, it's what happened. There's not someone out there making it happen, because I don't experience that. There's no evidence of that. You believe in mediums? I've never come in contact with a real medium. So I know somebody that went to a medium meeting. What's up, Seven, my friend? I know somebody that went to a medium meeting, and they promised all these things. They were going to do this seance, and they were going to speak to, and several people went away from that meeting, and it was a well-known medium saying they were full of shit, right? And then the medium made a video about the seance, making it look like things had happened. So it just boosted their credibility when actually nothing happened but a bunch of BS. But I'm not saying those things aren't real. I'm just saying that I don't believe them, and I don't have the experience of those things. So I'm not telling you to believe them or disbelieve them. I'm just, go on your own experience, go based on your own experience, and figure it out for yourself on your own. And I say that constantly. Don't believe me. Don't believe anything that I say. That would be doing the exact opposite of what, my message is to you tonight. It's drop belief, right? It's the very first thing I say here. Drop belief. So don't believe anything that I say. Hear it, test it, live it, experience it. Let it be an existential experience, and then it will be yours, right? Then you can say, what this guy says is true because I am living it. I know it. I have a relationship with it. I understand it. It's an understanding that I have that makes sense of the world around me, and it's true to my experience. I used to want people to believe what I said when I was a pastor. Believe me, because I believed it. It was simply a belief. How do we not believe anything? I'm curious. Hey, Parish's Mouth. Good to see you, my friend. By being present and only present, being in absolute contact with this moment right here, right now. And that's it. That's it. Because belief has nothing to do with the present moment. Belief is needed when you step outside, not that you can actually step outside of the present moment, but when you get caught up in thought and you step outside in that sense of the present moment into the past, into the future, that's when you need belief, right? To make sense of the past, to make sense of the future, to hope for something, this or that. That's where belief comes in. So the way to not believe anything is to relax, take a deep breath, let go, and be in this moment fully, completely natural, spontaneous. But you can't try to be spontaneous, right? Because then you're not spontaneous. You're trying to be spontaneous. But really, in all honesty, what you realize is at some point that you can't be anything but spontaneous, even when you think you're not. Yeah, Bo. That's a good way to put it. I like that. I like that. By coming through all of it with a combing through all of it with a fine-tooth comb, and you'll see, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's the other thing is dismantling belief, questioning everything, right? Questioning your deeply held beliefs that, I mean, there are trillions of beliefs out there held by different peoples and cultures and times. And like Tasha said, combing through those beliefs, dismantling those beliefs so that you get down to the ground level foundation where belief isn't necessary. And that is in the present moment. That's where, because that's all that exists. I mean, that is existence, is this moment, this now, this eternal, infinite now that never goes away. It never goes anywhere. This is all that exists. You can't stop believing. I can't stop believing and still experience spiritual power that you lack. Well, I've never seen that spiritual power. just the Benny Hinns and the Kenneth Copelands that display that spiritual power. All else is belief, and they're a sham. Okay, Dandelion. Birds aren't real. No one is 100% straight. I believe that there is nothing to believe, therefore I believe I am in peace. No, that's not very respectful, Dandelion, at all. You can say respectfully, but it's not respectful. You deceive yourself. But you don't deceive me. Thank God Rick doesn't have spiritual power. Do you accept guests? Not tonight. Sometimes I do, but I haven't been live since May. So this is my first live back after a long break. And it's just me. Just got me tonight. Peace to you as well, Sage. Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it, Aaron? Isn't it interesting how we as humans create God in our own image, then hate said God. We all create. Everyone has created God in their own image, right? There is no God out there. So in order for you to believe in a God, it has to be created in your own image. And that's why you see a very human God in all of the religious books, right? You read the Bible, and it's a God who gets jealous and angry and slaughters people and, all those kinds of things, because that's the type of situation you find that God being created in the time and culture in which it was written. And so you have a God created in man's image in that time and culture and place. You have a very tribal God in the Old Testament because it was tribal existence. Human God is a human. Yeah, dog God is a dog. Human God is a human. I like that. Do you believe in the Bible? I don't believe in anything. So no. Thank you, Bo. Here's after not as you said. Thank you so much. So we can have an experience based on the realities of our ancestors. What is the objective rationale that there is no God? That belief is unnecessary. That's it. Belief is unnecessary. It's irrelevant. In this moment, right here, right now, I have absolutely zero need for belief. I don't have to believe anything. And that makes belief absolutely irrelevant. Belief has to do with the past and the future, and neither of those things is reality. Neither of those things exist. So belief is absolutely irrelevant to me, and it's absolutely unnecessary for anyone and everyone. Here in this moment of now is where I am. Exactly. And that's the only moment that exists. This moment right here. This is reality. This is existence. This is it right here, right now. And you don't need a belief for that. You come in contact, direct contact with this moment. You wake up to this moment. You see that that's all there is. And you don't need to believe anything to be here now in this moment. Why do you think Jesus is the most famous person to ever exist? Belief. Purely belief. Man, you guys always bring it down to Jesus, don't you? There are a lot of Christians on TikTok. Oh, thank you, Sage. I'm glad you came here. Yeah, just embody love, period, right? Yeah, there's no need for anything else, right? And when you realize that you are not separate from anything and anyone around you, well, all there can be is love deep down. It's not that you're not going to experience emotions, human emotions, because you are the ocean coming on as the wave of a human, the ocean of being coming on in the wave of a human. So it's not that you're not going to experience those human emotions, but you see those emotions, you recognize those emotions for what they are, but deep down, there can be only love because you aren't separate from anyone else around you. Thank you, Phil. Deep down, you know that you are inseparable from everything, anything, the entire thing, that it is one whole existence. That's it. And you are inseparable from it. Do you talk to your students about this topic? No. I teach computer science and entrepreneurship, and that's what I stick to. Not the real Dwight. What's up, my friend? You like numbers? I'm indifferent. Boring. I do give them some pretty deep warm-ups every once in a while, but I don't talk about these things to them. Someone asked if you were raised in religion. Oh, yes, absolutely. Aren't most of us? Yes, I was raised in religion. I was raised Christian. I went to... All right, my friend Christopher. I'm so glad you were here, dude. It's so good to see you. Thank you for your support. I see you, and I appreciate you so much, man. I'll see you soon. Oh, you did, Aaron. Yes, I was raised in Christianity, but I didn't get serious about it until after college. Right out of college, I became a born-again Christian, right? I had my conversion experience. And 2 years after that, I was so deeply involved in it. I was raised in it, so it was always a part of my life, and it was always this terror in the back of my mind, to be honest with you. But when I had what I thought was a true conversion experience, over the next 2 years, I just became totally enveloped and just obsessed with knowing this God that I had discovered, right? Or that in my mind had discovered me. I had to know this God who created me and loved me and saved me by Jesus, and all these things. And that's all I wanted to do, was know that and know that God. And so I did what the Bible told me to do. I sold everything. I sold my possessions. I sold my house. I sold everything, and I love that for you. Thank you, Aaron. And moved and went to seminary so that I could just study this God and read about this God and know this God and learn the languages of God, Greek and Hebrew, and just learn as much as I can. And got a master's of arts in religion. I was a pastor for several years, and I eventually worked my way intellectually out of believing, thankfully, and went on my own path, discovered my own path with the help of others. Yeah, that is dedication. I know. I was absolutely dedicated. All I wanted to do, here's that phrase, I wanted to be like Jesus, Christ-like, but I began to question things, and what do you think is negative about this? Yeah, right. I began to organized religion is a problem. Spiritualism, no, belief is the problem. But really, if you want to know the truth, there is no problem. It's but that's maybe we can get into that in a minute. I started to question and actually entertain the doubts that I had here and there. And and eventually worked my way out of religion. But anyway, I did have help after. I didn't have any help getting out of Christianity. I was a lone ranger. It was years ago. I didn't know about the clergy project or anything like that. I didn't know anybody who had lost their faith. Nobody, especially in ministry. So I got out of religion, left Christianity, left Jesus, and it was a painful journey, no doubt. Absolutely painful existential crisis, which changed a lot in my life. And yeah, the clergy project. So the clergy project is Dawkins had a hand in creating this. Richard Dawkins. I'm a member of the clergy project, and it's an exclusive membership. You have to be in ministry currently or previously and have lost your faith. So in the clergy project, there are actually hundreds and hundreds of current pastors and preachers who no longer believe but cannot get out. They have to continue to preach. Because they don't know what else to do. They can't get out. They can't, it's their life. It's their means for survival. It's their paycheck. It's their family. It's their past, their degrees. It's everything. So they don't know what to do. And so the Clergy Project exists to offer support to people like that. And, I haven't been active in it. I'm still in the group and I still keep up, but I'm not active with the Clergy Project. I just don't need that kind of support or anything anymore. It's all those kinds of things are irrelevant to me. But I was saying that I did have help after I got out of Christianity and belief, because I did become an atheist at first. And now I don't label myself at all. I don't label myself an atheist, a theist, an agnostic. I don't like to label myself anything. In a sense, I transcend labels. I mean, I really do. I just don't want to trap myself in any kind of box. But I did have help because I came into contact with people like Alan Watts, who had a tremendous impact on me in opening my mind to other ways of thinking, especially like Eastern philosophies and things like that. And then, that led me into coming in contact with all kinds of other people, Ramana Maharshi and Nisargadatta Maharaj and Osho and all kinds of people that are just, kind of that have come from this totally different way of thinking about reality. And so it helped open my mind. And I went on my own journey and came to my own realization and understanding of the nature of reality and who I am and who I'm not. And here I am. And here I'm not. Lisa Carnes. Man, that sounds familiar, but I don't know who that is, but I know I've seen the name. I know I've seen the name. That name definitely rings familiar. You will have your own end time and face God, Kevin says. And I'm not making fun of you by saying it that way. It's just that's how I read it. And face God. That's how I read it in my head. Because it's absolutely irrelevant to me, and it is comical. Not that I'm making fun of you in any way, shape, or form. It's only comical in my mind because I'm reading it that way, and I've gone past those things, and I don't need those things. It's not. It's something that is absolutely irrelevant to me, and it isn't good news because it isn't true. It's just a belief, so it's not good news. There's nothing good about that news. It's deceiving is what it is, and it's keeping people asleep and trapped and held in bondage of religion and belief. Tasha. 100%. Oh, it's 10:50. Religion divides. That's exactly right. Sometimes I used to have that up here too. Sometimes I put that up here, that religion divides, and it does. It divides. It separates. Religion separates. And, awakening is transcending all separation, seeing yourself as inseparable from the whole. That's what awakening is. So religion traps you in the opposite state of awakening. You're an hour in the future. You don't exist. Hence, religion is a problem. Division is problematic. Religion is divisive and separatory in its very nature. It is in compass. Is that a code word? Encompass. I'm trying to decode what you're saying there. Encompass. Did I say? What did I say? Encompass. What did I say? Something? Did I say? You make fun of me the way I pronounce words. Did I pronounce something funny? To enjoy your life despite disagreeing with you. Thank you. Everyone is on their own path. Well, I appreciate that, Dandelion. And I welcome anybody and everybody here. And everybody's free to say what they want, no matter what it is. And, it's how do I put this? And I don't want to think too much about it, but a lot of it, I hear, on repeat, of course. But what I do enjoy is when somebody can disagree and still say, man, I enjoyed this. It kind of, it's good to have to hear something that I don't agree with, and and not just combat it. Shut up. Boston. No, I don't at all, Dandelion. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. We should see things differently, coming from completely different perspectives. We do, right? Yeah, nobody sees things exactly the same way. Not one single person sees the world the same way. Not one. We all see it. I mean, your perspective of the world is entirely unique. It really is. I mean, so much of it is borrowed, of course, but even that borrowing is getting interpreted from your own perspective and experiences. This is Dharma. Yeah. How was matter created without a creator? Well, you're asking a very loaded question there, using the word created, creator, which is a presuppositional question, right? You're assuming it's created. You're assuming there's a creator. And there's no reason to assume either of those things. That's being assumed in belief. So the very question is irrelevant because it's a presuppositional question that is manifesting out of your belief. How is it brought into being? Well, again, you have to believe that it was brought into being to answer that question. And then for me to tell you how it was brought into being would be me believing that very explanation. So that would be a belief as well. Hey, Perry. So to believe that it was brought implies that you believe that there is a bringer. And there's no reason to believe that there's a bringer. And to believe that it came into being is a belief that it came into being, and there's really no reason to believe that either. So it's a, I'm trying to show you that so much of what we think, say, question, do is all exposing our beliefs. It's all coming out of our beliefs. And beliefs are unnecessary. They're irrelevant because what you're doing is obsessing over the past, asking questions about the past, and you're forgetting about the present. And the present has nothing to do with belief. Belief has nothing to do with the present. You give computer science teacher vibes. Probably one of my students. That doesn't beg the question. 7, yeah. That's right. Coming out of the belief closet. Coming out of the belief closet. Matt Broussard, you're going back to your questions again. You're exposing that presupposition, that belief that you hold. And those questions are absolutely irrelevant to this present moment. And therefore, they are absolutely irrelevant to me. They have no meaning. They're meaningless to me. Irrelevant. Because it has nothing to do with this moment. And I have only to do with what only is. This moment is all that exists. This right here, right now. Oh, 11 o'clock. I guess I better wrap it up. Oh, yeah, Untamed. Yeah. Moana Monroe said that a while ago too about, some people would be lost without belief. They would be lost. And a lot of people would be lost without belief because it is a crutch. It is something that they need to get through life. They have to believe in something other than what is right here, right now, because what is right here, right now, they can't accept. And so if you can't accept the present being all that there is, you need a belief to lean on, right? And so it does take courage to break free of those beliefs, to drop those beliefs. Here we go again with the Bible talking. I know. It does take courage. It takes something that is not found in many people. That courage and that strength. It is scary, yeah. That courage, that strength, that um, that wandering nature to question, to truly question, and dig into the doubts and eventually drop those beliefs. It's koala time. I gotta go. Yeah, especially when your life is so wrapped up in it. I know it. I know. Exactly. But what you find on the other side is a hell of a lot of freedom and a hell of a lot of peace and a hell of a lot of bliss and light and truth and understanding. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Yes, indeed. Exactly. I told Mallory the other night, Tasha, when you and Austin were here, when you guys were leaving, we were parting ways. And everyone's so loving the comment section. I know, man, I enjoy everybody tonight. Purusha's mouth. It's such a good night. I told Mallory what Austin said about me being, what did he say? A long lever? Is that what it was? A long lever? Like a long goodbye. I always do a long goodbye. I'm a long lever. It was the same thing in person. I was like, okay, we hugged about 10 times. All right, I'll see you soon. Okay, man, it was so good to see you guys in person, face to face. Yeah, thank you. Bustin' Biscuits, my friend. Can't wait to see you face to face either. Yeah, he did say that. I'm a long lever. So I told Mallory that, and she laughed. It's true, I'm a long lever. Must be part Southern. I was born in Louisiana. South Louisiana, Baton Rouge. All right, guys. I spend 45 minutes saying goodbye. That's how I am. Yeah, I know. Man, it's so good to see you guys. So good to see you guys and hug you and see you and talk to you and hang out with you, walk on the beach with you. It's amazing. Loved it. All right. Hugs. All right. Thank you, Danielle. It's good to be back. I don't know when I'll be live again. It's going to be when I feel live, when I like going live, but thank you, Seven, my friend. To have class. Thank you, Brutus. Thank you so much for being here. Bo, I love you, my friend. Good to see you. Good night, Purusha. Yep, I'll see you soon for sure. Lyndon, Brutus. Oh, cool, California. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Tasha, I love you. You and Austin. See ya, River. Oh, thank you for the follow. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you soon. I don't know when, but I'll see you soon. Have a good night. And I'm going to stop the stream now because you know what I do sometimes? I stop the TikTok stream and forget to stop the YouTube stream. And sometimes it's a little embarrassing.